I'm going to put all this camera gear into this case, but what's really going to make this useful for me are these. One second. Those. A phone, an NVMe hard drive, and a touchscreen monitor. Let me show you what I have in mind. The idea is for this empty camera case to become a one-stop shop for all of that gear that you just saw. Basically, not only will it all be stored in here, but there's going to be one cable in for power and one cable out for data, so that with that phone and touchscreen monitor, I can not only charge all the batteries for every camera in here, I can also manage their files and not have to worry about what's on which micro SD card and how I'm going to organize all that stuff. The first thing we're going to sort out is power. This is just a USB hub, but importantly, it takes a second power supply in, so we can use a good USB-C cable with high power input, and this is going to act as the power distribution hub for everything that goes on in this case. We're going to use 3M VHB to secure everything inside the hard shell of this case. When you get a camera case like this, a lot of them are going to come with foam, like this one did. And I've already gone ahead and kind of cut out and notched out some of the spots where I know cables are going to run, things are going to sit. I've already test fit a lot of this stuff. Make sure you do that. Spend your time before you cut any of your foam to test fit, lay out everything where you want it to be so you know exactly where things are going to go. This power hub is going to sit right down in that corner. This wire we're not going to use because this hub could also support data, but we're not using it for that. So we're just going to secure this wire and any other loose wires underneath this bottom piece of foam where we'll never see it. And that way everything will stay tidy inside this box. An important part to a project like this is planning out all of your wiring. Now, I've gone ahead and put the VHB tape on the back of this, and I know that with this port here, I'm going to want it to sit like this so that the wire goes this way and out the back. So that way, this side will be the power inlet side. Eventually, I could add a port into the side of the box, but for right now, I'm just going to leave the wire tucked in and only take it out when I need it, because this case is going to have to be open when everything's charging anyway, just to make sure that nothing overheats in here. VHB is super easy to work with and will hold up just fine inside this box. I've had it on things like glass in the middle of Las Vegas heat and everything, and it will stick to almost anything and hold through pretty much everything. So let's go ahead and put this down in here. You just press it in for a few seconds, and now that's mounted into place. And you can see that there are some notches that I've kind of just made with my finger or with a little bit of a kitchen knife, just to start running wires through this, because all those batteries and everything are going to sit on top of this piece of foam. So I've realized when you're doing something like this, think in layers. What's going to be on the very bottom on the shell underneath this, which in my case is going to be any extra wiring I want to tuck out of the way. What's going to sit on top of this layer, which is going to be all the devices. Then there's another layer of foam that will act to hold all this stuff in place, and then you'll see what's going on the lid at the end. So the next part is we're going to tuck the wires in through these holes so that we can then secure all the loose wires down at the bottom. For getting power to everything, I found these splitters on Amazon. We're just trickle feeding a bunch of battery chargers, so we don't need to worry about data. We can just split up the power evenly across everything. And these are really nice because they have both a USB-A and a USB-C connector on them, and you can pick which one you want to use, which is going to work out well for us because one of these wires is going to have to get plugged in through USB-A. I've gone ahead and fed all those wires in where I need them to go. The next step before we start securing any of this stuff down is we actually need to make sure we have a power feed from the power hub to the data hub, because the phone by itself is not going to be able to power everything that gets plugged into that. So we have to make sure there's one more wire that goes across the box to the data hub that's going to be on this side. This is the wire we're going to use for the data hub. So we're just going to go ahead and leave this loose for now, but we will go ahead and plug it in down here. I've gone ahead and plugged in all the wires to where they need to go. So there's one wire that's going to power the data hub. There are charging wires for all the batteries, another wire that'll provide power to everything that goes on the lid of the box. The last wire to put in is going to be this one. This is going to be the input wire. Now I found this and I thought it was going to be pretty cool. This will actually have a power display on it. It'll show how much wattage the box is pulling at any time. So we're going to go ahead and plug this in to the inlet side of the power distribution hub down here and leave this out for now. And now all the connections to this power hub are done. So what we can go ahead and do now is put in a couple of zip tie anchors and just kind of take out some of the slack for all these wires that are in here. I wasn't trying to get rid of all of the slack for every wire. I just wanted enough so that when the foam goes in here, the foam itself is going to eat up a lot of this slack, and I'm not worried about it pressing into the bottom of everything. But what I really wanted was for it not to be bulky or ridgy, especially in the places where the other gear is going to sit. I've already gone ahead and plucked out the top layer of foam for how I want everything to sit. And you're going to see when it all comes together how everything sits in here. Even though it doesn't look like it'll have a lot of support right now, everything will be fairly well held into place when it all starts coming in. Now we'll start plugging everything in. The first thing is the case, charging case for my DJI mic minis. So that'll go there. The next thing to plug in are the batteries for my drone. And you'll notice that, or you may have seen that I actually cut a hole out in that first layer of foam. And that's to let those batteries sit low. They're pretty tall, but this way they stay underneath the level of the foam there. This is kind of like a battery handle / tripod mount for my Pocket 3. It is a battery, so it needs to stay charged and plugged in. So this is just going to sit right here. This is just a floating mount for the Osmo Action camera. When I started this project, I got super nervous because this foam kept ripping out and I thought I was ruining the case. But once you get the gear in there, it actually all holds itself together pretty nicely. So this spot right here is for this little Osmo Action camera. So we'll drop that there. And then this wire here is for the batteries for this camera, which we can leave right there. Then these two Osmo Pocket cameras will go in the center section. So we'll put the older one on the bottom and the Pocket 3 above it. Next thing that we'll plug in, and the last thing that happens down here for charging, is the controller for the drone, which will sit here. Then just a quick piece of foam there, and then the drone itself can sit right there. Now that everything's charging, the next thing to figure out is the data hub, and that's where this is. So this will take power in from our data distribution on that side, and this wire will be able to come out and plug into the phone. So you'll see that I've notched out the foam for this to sit here just like that. So what we're going to do is put some VHB on the back of this, plug it in, and get this ready to go. VHB is on. Let's go ahead and drop this into place right here. And I have it in this orientation for a reason. One, symmetry. It's nice that at the back side of the power and data wires will come out. Two, it gives me access to these USB ports on the top. So this one, bottom one, is for the monitor. If you're doing the same thing I am with a touchscreen monitor, you want to make sure you have a hub that supports not just data, but also a specific monitor port. It'll just make compatibility a lot easier. So I've got that, and then I've got data outputs, one of which is going to be used for that hard drive that'll sit up here. Then it gives me two more, and I can use one of those for a micro SD card reader or anything else I need in the future. If you're wondering about the rest of this spot, the tripod I'm actually filming on right there is going to sit in that spot, so I'll show that at the end. You want to make sure that you have good quality data wires. A lot of standard just charging USB-C cables are not going to be good enough for both providing charging but also data if they need to. I'm specifically using these 240 watt / 40 gigabit rated cables, and that's going to be more than enough to connect to both the hard drive and that touchscreen monitor. This one is going to be for the hard drive, so we'll go ahead and plug that in and leave it out. On the other one, I'm also actually using an extra 90-degree adapter just to make sure that once I plug it in, Nothing is sticking up too high on this side, but it also leaves these two middle ports wide open for, again, an SD card reader or something else like that. To make this wire run a little bit nicer, I'm actually going to tuck it underneath the hub on that side. The last thing we're going to plug in is that power wire that we ran from the power distribution hub is going to go inside the data hub on this side. And again, that's just to make sure that nothing power hungry is trying to run off the phone. Just in case this hub tries to supply power to either the monitor or the hard drive over its USB-C cables, we want to make sure that it's not trying to pull all that from the phone. That'll drain the phone pretty quickly. And we'll just tuck that extra wire in. The next thing we want to do is attach our monitor. This is a touchscreen USB-C monitor. You don't have to use touchscreen. You could just navigate everything off the phone. You don't even need to put a monitor in. But I wanted something that it would serve a lot of purposes. Number one, it just gives an easier, bigger interface to use as a touchscreen monitor rather than trying to navigate everything off the phone. I'll be able to use this whole panel to do it. And number two, this monitor also has HDMI inputs. So once it's powered, once it's got USB-C for its video input from this data hub, I could still plug something into this HDMI port if I wanted to let my kids watch a movie or play video games with them or something like that. Okay, the VHB is on. Now I'm just going to go ahead and keep it right up against the top of the case and just kind of eyeball the center-ish with those latches, and then just hold the monitor in place and let that VHB do its thing. Now we can go ahead and connect our data wire for this monitor, and we're gonna do the same thing we've done with a lot of the other excess cabling and just kind of tuck this down into this space here. Again, foam is super forgiving, so it probably won't even notice that this stuff is in here. The next thing we're going to mount is this NVMe enclosure. This particular one is from Dock Case. I like it because it just has a little screen here, which is just going to be fun. You saw with the power cable, I like having extra displays for things, so it'll just give me a little bit of visual interest and let me check on the state of the drive really quickly, like how much space is left, things like that. I put a 256 gig NVMe in here, but since it is a enclosure, I can just swap that out for a bigger one if I ever feel like I'm running out of space. But because we have Starlink, stuff can be held on this temporarily while the phone is uploading into the cloud, and then I can empty out this NVMe. So we can put files on here, start the upload, go for a hike, go play, whatever we want to do, and then come back to a drive that we can then wipe for the next round. So that's why I only went with 256 for now. So let's go ahead and stick this on. Again, we're just going to kind of eyeball where that sits. One thing to make sure is that these dock cases have two ports. One is for data and the other one is for power. So if you're going to line things up the way I did with putting this right up against the bottom of the monitor, make sure you arrange that power spot to where you can reach it. The good thing about these displays is that they're rotatable. There's a button right here where my finger is, and if you just double tap that, it'll rotate the display 90 degrees, and you can just cycle through until you get the orientation that you want. So now we can attach the data wire for that hard drive and do the same thing, which is tucking this wire into extra space or just into the foam, and then that way those are done. This doesn't have to get plugged into anything because this is for the phone, so we'll leave that out. So the last thing we need to do on this side is just plugging in power. Now I have 3 leads. I'm only going to use 2 of them, but I did leave myself an extra power lead just in case there's anything else I want to charge off of here. So we'll keep the blue one to the side. I'm going to use a piece of VHB just to tuck this in right here, and then we can clean up all the wiring at the end. The wiring's cleaned up there. The monitor is both plugged in for both power and data. The hard drive is plugged in with both power and data. Everything gets run through this little trunk here that I went ahead and threw a couple of zip ties on. So this becomes our one wire out for data to the phone, and this is our one wire in for power. Get our last piece of foam just to make sure everything stays neat. And then when we close the case, We are now ready to go with a case that can be plugged in for both power and data at any time. So let me show you how it works. We are plugged into our low voltage system, which is already on. And you can see that the system is up and running. All the batteries in the cases are charging. Let me see if I can show you. You can kind of see that on that camera it does say 87% in charging. So all the batteries are charging. And we have a touch screen. And there's our storage drive where we can access all of our photos on the fly. Here's what the case looks like with that last tripod finally in and how everything looks tucked away. So there you have it. This is my all-in-one case that both charges all of my batteries, uses a phone to manage files with a touchscreen interface and an NVMe hard drive, and lets me manage everything with just 2 wires, one for power and one to go to the phone to manage all these files and everything. If you liked this build, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you've got suggestions, I'd love to hear them. And if you found this video interesting, liking, subscribing to the channel helps the algorithm and helps me know what kind of videos you guys are interested in seeing. If you have anything else that you'd like to know more about, any questions about any of this stuff, feel free to drop a comment down below. And as always, we'll catch you next time.